Hey y'all. The way I make my vlogs, as you may have been aware, I just kind of I get an idea and I start talking. Very rarely are they like scripted or written down. I just get an idea. But today I was actually thinking about a topic and I recited it out loud to myself several times, which is really kind of weird. So it's almost like I was practicing for my vlog, but I was doing it while I was parking. I was just talking, which I don't do very often, but, well, I do talk. Usually not coherently. I just, but this, I was, okay, anyway, full sentences. I was talking about the whole thing. But I was talking about, what I want to vlog about today. And the topic I chose was pride, corporate pride. And I'll get to the point eventually. I mean, it's mostly I just like to hear myself talk, so that's what I'm talking about. But I have a point. If you hear me out, you'll get to the point. I talk about corporate pride. I saw an article last night that ranks Quick Trip as the #1 convenience store in America. I don't know the details. I don't memorize details like who ranked them. Probably Forbes or U.S. News or some big thing. But I saw this article and I read it and I was like, that's pretty cool. And I felt the pang of pride inside. I have pride, corporate pride for Quick Trip, which I've got to explain because I've never worked there. But it's a really good place to work. They're really good for employees, and I know this for several reasons, not just reports. I mean, I've read reports. That they for 4 or 5 years they've been the #1 employee in or employer in the country, according to somebody. I don't even know who that was, but besides the reports, I know from experience. People have told me this. It's like first-hand experience. Um, First example really is my sister worked works at Quick Trip. She was in the stores for years. I don't know, a long time. It seemed like. She went up to assistant manager and then manager, and she was actually a floating manager, meaning that she filled in at different stores. So she was actually relocating at different stores. She would fill in when the manager wasn't there, so she operated stores for a while. And I guess about the last 2 or 3 years, since my nephew has been born, um, she's worked at corporate. She moved out the stores, and she works in the main building in the accounting office. She did not go to school for accounting, so it's like she was taught there. It was like on the job training type stuff, and the pay is really good, and the bonuses. Yeah, in the stores you get bonuses, but even in the corporate you get there's a lot of perks. They have like a place where they can get drinks for free. So all day long you can get a fountain drinks, and that's pretty awesome. There are little perks. A friend of mine, this is not too long ago. This is like 3 years ago. He was operating a store, and his store was like I think it was the highest grossing volume. I mean, it made the most money out of any store in Tulsa, and he got a bonus. His bonus was in the form of a trip for two to Hawaii, and he took his mom, which was awesome because they wouldn't have gotten to do this otherwise. And sadly, she has since passed. So they got an experience, memory that they never would have had otherwise. And I attribute a big part of that to Quick Trip because Quick Trip funded this trip. I mean, that was his bonus for 1 month of highest grossing, and that's awesome. So it's okay. It's a great employer, and I've got a lot of pride for the company. About I don't know, a couple summers ago there was I think they called it Cup Wars between Quick Trip and Come and Go. And those are the two biggest convenience stores in the area. I don't know where Come and Go is headquartered or whatever, but that's big here in the Tulsa area, and they sell their big cups. And Quick Trip sold their big cups, and they had competition to see who sold the most pop that summer or something. I don't know exactly what it was, but I didn't ever buy Come and Go, and it's probably for a long time I refused to go anywhere but Quick Trip. If there was Quick Trip, I'd go there. If we were out of town, I'd go somewhere else. But Quick Trip's everywhere in Tulsa. I mean, it's every mile or so there's a Quick Trip store, and so I didn't go to Come Go for a long time. A couple years ago, when I did go in there, I felt okay. I would imagine the guilt that I felt was the kind that a man feels when he's cheating on his wife, because it's like I just felt wrong. I was in somewhere else, and it was like, but that's lessened, of course. I've actually bought drinks and even bought their I think they call it tornado. It's like the roller things, the breakfast rollers stuff that I get at Quick Trip. So it's, hey, I go to Come and Go now, for convenience every once in a while. But still, we got this pride issue. I've got this corporate pride, and that's the segue. That's the point. You'll probably remember some my little things about that, but I have a point. See, like I alluded to, even though I like to hear myself talk, I had a moral of the story. It goes back to pride. Now, we are taught, and even that pride is sinful, and that's mentioned in the Bible as a sin. And I will agree that there's a lot of sin associated with pride, because it's the Bible. I've got to agree with it, but we've got to explain it, because there is some pride. I'm proud of my kids. Daddy, why? Well, I just am. But see, my moral of the story, what I'm thinking about pride, is it's the motivation that is the sin. The actual pride in your kids, there's no sin there. Proud of your school. I remember wearing the school colors and having school spirit. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a feeling, and like every emotion, the emotion itself is not sinful. It's what you do with the emotion. It's the motivation for the emotion that can be sinful. So my point here about corporate pride, which there's nothing sinful about that, but you got to question it. Whenever pride comes into your life and you say about anything, I'm proud of that, you've got to question it, because self-pride or pride for the wrong reason is sinful. I mean, so you've got to question your pride, and that's the point of this. You question it, I question it, and back up why. What's my motivation for pride? My motivation is a great employer. They've treated my sister, they've treated my friend really well. It's really clean. They treat you well. They're good with customers. It's all that. But so I'm proud of this store. That kind of pride, it's not sinful, because I've got a point behind it. I've got a reason for it. So anyway, question it. Why do you feel pride for what you feel proud of? Is there a reason for it?